So family law means everything to do with families. It means divorce, custody, child support, adoption, domestic violence issues, and increasingly it means dealing with non-traditional families as well, where sometimes the law is not so developed, so we're more in the position of having to write contracts to help people form and dissolve non-traditional families, such as a cohabitation agreement for a gay or lesbian couple, or what we call a domestic partnership dissolution agreement, when a couple like that separates and needs to figure out how to divide up the stuff they've acquired during their relationship, because there's no law that governs that.
So you're frequently breaking new ground here.
Yes, definitely.
And what about what I've been hearing about lately about the psychological parent? How does that play into this? What's going on with that?
That's one of the areas in family law that is expanding really fast. In the last, I'd say, 2 decades, there's been a real shift in how the law sees what the family is, and one of those ways is that the relationship of a child to a person who's not their biological parent has increasingly become to receive judicial protection. So the relationship that a child might have with a grandparent or another relative, or even someone completely unrelated to them who's caring for them that they have bonded with, there are now custody decisions where those third parties get custody of children that they have been raising, even though there's no biological connection to them, because courts and legislatures are starting to recognize the importance of a bond that may have nothing to do with DNA.
You know, I'm so interested in this blog. I know that most of your clients read it before they come to see you. Can you tell me a little bit about why you decided to pursue it? What happened that made you want to do it?
I have been thinking for a long time about writing something about what I do on a day-to-day basis, because it's so interesting. Family law is just fascinating. I mean, I think it's fascinating, but a lot of people think it's fascinating, and it's something that affects so many people in their lives. So I wanted to just take little snapshots of things that happen in court, you know, a bad day with a judge, interesting interaction with opposing counsel, a novel legal issue, and be able to put that out there for people to think about and to respond to, and they have. It's been great. I've gotten a really good reception to the blog.
You come from a writing family, don't you?
I do, yeah. Both my parents were writers, and that's kind of the world I grew up in, but it's certainly not what I chose to do. But I think it is, at some level, it's part of my my makeup is to want to be, to want to write and to want to record. Both of my parents were actually journalists, so I think what I'm trying to do in the blog is similar to what a journalist does in interviewing someone about what they do. I'm trying to express that on an ongoing basis, sort of a chronicle.
Now, at some point, you started to think about writing something longer. You started to feel that perhaps these short squibs, that there could be something more. So as I understand it, you're currently putting together a book proposal.
I am, yes. I'm putting together a book proposal because what I've done is I've taken the material in the blog and I have expanded it to a series of stories. There are stories, but they're true. So when I use the word story, I don't mean fiction, but I think of it as stories about daily life in the practice of family law and all of the issues that come up with evidence, with negotiation, with different cases and how I've related to clients in those cases, and I'm putting that together into a much more in-depth series of pieces that are woven together, and I'm hoping to be able to publish a book.